The trailer kicks off in the Upside Down, where we spot a Demogorgon bowing before its master, Vecna. Here, we hear Vecna declare, "At long last, we can begin." Then, we're treated to a glimpse of Vecna's creepy hand. From the previous teaser, we already knew Vecna was about to hit his peak form, and if you're a regular viewer on my channel, you know exactly why he's waited all these years to execute his plan. Let me break it down quick. Vecna needed time to reach full power because in Season 4, our heroes wrecked him bad. But now, he's locked in with his complete abilities. And every creature in the Upside Down is under his command, just like we saw right at the trailer's start. Next, we're back at Hawkins High School, where we catch our favorite Dustin Henderson rolling up on his bike. He's riding solo, no Mike, no Lucas. His facial expressions scream disturbance. The likely reason? We all know from the previous teaser that most folks in Hawkins still brand Eddie a psycho killer. Dustin hates that. He's fighting for justice because he knows Eddie is innocent. This moment also makes one thing crystal clear. In Season 5's opening, we won't see Dustin interacting with the group much. It's going to mirror what we saw with Max in Season 4, isolated, reeling from Billy's death. We're getting the same raw, solitary grief with Dustin this season. Then we cut to Mike Wheeler and 11 on the roof of the WSQK radio station. We all know this station is massive this season. In this scene, Mike tells 11, "We're really starting to lose it. Being stuck in here, no end in sight. Maybe tonight is our break." Mike's probably saying this because Hawkins is on full lockdown, military's got everything under control, and people can't move freely except in a few safe zones. But Mike and the crew know this won't end until they take Vecna out for good. Right after, we see Joyce and 11 arriving at a location. I'm pretty sure it's the same upside-down tunnel from Season 2. And from the last teaser and official images, we know a Demogorgon attacks here, and Lucas gets caught in the chaos. Next, we spot 11 and Hopper heading into a military base. I'm saying this because later in one scene, we see 11 using her powers to go to the military base. Maybe I'm not sure, but perhaps they want to go to the Upside Down through the military base. Because in the last teaser, a portal or gate to the Upside Down was also shown opening inside the military base. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Then Mike says, "We find Vecna, and we end this once and for all, together." That's it. Mike's got a full plan to finally defeat Vecna and end this nightmare. The group is all in. Will, Joyce, Lucas, Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, Robin, and Dustin. You can clearly see bruises on Dustin's face. This happens early in the season when Jason's crew beat him up at Eddie's grave. That's 100% confirmed. Then we see the WSQK radio station van, which is heading towards the WSQK radio station. I told you about this van in my last video, and also revealed a lot of hidden secrets related to Season 5. Those who haven't watched that video yet, go check it out. In the next scene, we see Joyce, who looks extremely worried. Mike is also looking at her. If you look closely at this scene, you can see Will, who appears to be unconscious, I think. In my opinion, this scene takes place when Mike, Joyce, Will, and Drake Trunbo are at the military base, and that's when Vecna shows up. We'll talk more about this later in the video. In the trailer, we hear 11 saying, "This isn't like one of your campaigns. You don't get to write the ending, not this time." Meaning this time, the problem is much bigger. We know that many fan-favorite characters will die this season, which will show just how high the stakes are. I'm very excited for this season, guys. Then we see Mike, Lucas, Dustin, and Will, where Mike is explaining some kind of plan through the D&D game, and after listening, everyone agrees with him. We saw this in the last teaser, but here, Will feels something. Maybe the Mind Flayer is contacting him, or Vecna. I don't know, but it's very confusing. If you look behind Will, you can see Dustin looking very happy, meaning whatever their plan is, Dustin really likes it. In the next scene, we see Jonathan and Nancy, in front of whom a portal is opening. Many fan theories claim that in this scene, Jonathan is going to die because in one shot, we see Nancy washing blood off her hands. And many people believe that blood belongs to Jonathan. I don't know how true that is, but I personally think the blood on Nancy's hands belongs to Ted Wheeler. Because one of the first characters who's rumored to die this season is Ted. I won't talk too much about it here because I've already explained the whole thing in one of my previous videos, so make sure to check that out. Next, we see Robin and Murray, in front of whom several portals or gates from the Upside Down are opening. This is a huge problem for both Murray and Robin. According to me, Robin might die this season. Then we hear Nancy saying, "He's planning to end our world." And he's not gonna stop until we're drained of every last ounce of suffering. And honestly, she's right because this time, Vecna is going to give it everything he's got and take revenge for his previous defeat. In the next scene, we see Steve and Dustin, where Dustin is crying badly while hugging Steve. It's possible that either Jonathan or Robin dies here. I don't know why, but I feel like this might be the scene where Jonathan dies. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my speculation. Then we see Eleven escaping from the military and entering the lab with Hopper. I've mentioned several times in my videos that there's a strong possibility Linda Hamilton's character, Dr. K, is experimenting on kids in the lab to give them powers like 11, so that they can fight Vecna. That's why we saw so many kids in the bunker in the last teaser. I've already made a detailed video on this, so I won't repeat myself again. Next, we see 11 using her powers, but it's not clear where she's using them, maybe at the military base, because it looks like the same place. There's also a possibility that she's destroying the lab itself so that no more experiments can be done on kids. Then we get a few quick shots like an explosion-type blast coming from the upside down into the real world, and an emotional moment between Nancy and Jonathan. But after that, we see Lucas in serious danger as he faces a full-grown Demogorgon. We can clearly see how bad his situation is here. I don't think Lucas will die in this scene, maybe 11 or Will save him somehow. There's even a possibility that Max will save Lucas. I don't know how, but it could happen that while all this is going on, Max is still in a coma, and the moment Lucas is about to die, Max wakes up and stops the Demogorgon. I don't know how true that is, but it's a fan theory. Let's see what happens. Next, we see Nancy at the military base, firing guns. We all know Nancy is going full Rambo mode this season. Then we see the group of Steve, Dustin, Nancy, Jonathan, and Robin. I think they're in the upside down. In my last video, I explained how Nancy was fighting multiple Demogorgons using a fire gun. This looks like the exact same place, and Nancy's costume is also the same, so this is clearly that scene. Here, we can see Dustin wearing a ghillie suit, and he looks shocked. I think he's seeing a lot more Demogorgons than he expected. Next, we see Jonathan being hugged by everyone. Here we can clearly see Dustin and Lucas, and maybe even our core four, Mike, Lucas, Dustin, and Will. I think this place might be the Wheeler house. I don't know, what do you guys think is happening here? Tell me in the comments. Next, we see Erica. I think this image is from the Turnbow Trap episode. If you don't know, Erica is going to play a very important role in that episode. According to some leaks, Erica will inject Derek Turnbow's family with something to make them unconscious, allowing our heroes to enter the Turnbow house and reach the location where the upside-down portal is. I don't know if these leaks are true or not, but for now, everything seems to match perfectly. Then we get a few quick glimpses. We see Steve driving a van, 11 in the upside down, and then Lucas carrying Max, escaping from a Demodog through a lift. There's a 100% chance that the Demodog will attack, but before it can, the lift door closes, and Lucas and Max are saved. We can also see a radio in Lucas's hand here. Next, we see Holly and Karen, both drenched in water, meaning this is the scene that takes place after the bathtub scene. Now comes the best moment of the trailer where we see Dr. K firing a gun. In the last teaser, we saw Mike protecting all the new kids, Will in terrible condition while Joyce tries to help him, and multiple Demogorgons attacking the military base. And this time, the Demogorgons look much more powerful. Maybe Vecna has enhanced their powers too. After that, we finally get the official look at Vecna, and he looks absolutely terrifying. Vecna says to Will, "William, you are going to help me, one last time." Then he uses his psychic powers to pull Will toward him. According to one leak, here's what actually happens in this scene when Vecna and his army attack. Will's powers suddenly activate to save Mike. Apparently, Will has fire-like abilities that shoot through his hands, something we also saw a glimpse of in the last teaser. But again, these are just leaks. Nothing confirmed, so take it with a grain of salt. It could be true, or it might not. And that's where the trailer ends. I really like this trailer. It was beautifully edited without revealing too much of the story. But I've tried my best to explain as much of the story to you as possible. This is just the beginning. I'll be breaking down this trailer in even more detail in my next video. So stay tuned. And new Stranger Things Lego announcement, which, yes, is completely based on what we're going to see in the upcoming season. And this announcement, oh man, the reveal image alone gave away a lot. It's right here on your screen, my friend. It's been confirmed that this new Stranger Things Lego set will be the Creel House. The entire Creel House. We're talking 2,593 pieces. So you can already imagine what that means for the price tag, right? Yeah, it's going to be crazy expensive. LEGO has never been cheap, but one thing's for sure, it's going to look incredible and highly detailed, because the preview images prove exactly that. According to official info, this LEGO set will be released in January 2026, right after the final episode of the series drops at the end of the year, which also tells us something very important. There are spoilers in this. This set includes elements connected to all the major events from the final season, or at least most of them. Now, let's take a closer look at the official image that's been released. You can see the Creel house in its most updated version, just like how it appears in the show's timeline, completely damaged, broken down, and filled with little details. Right in the center, there's the grandfather clock, one of the most iconic symbols from Season 4. To the left of the clock, you can spot what clearly looks like a portal, probably one that leads directly to Vecna's dimension, the same one where Max was nearly killed last season. Behind that, there are other rooms in the house. We can't see all of them from this angle, but they'll definitely be there, full of little story clues and Easter eggs. But the most interesting part of all this is what's shown right in the front section, because that's where the character details start to reveal a lot. From left to right, the first thing you'll notice is the WSQK van, one of the main symbols of this new season. It's a huge part of the story, and of course, it had to be included here. This matches perfectly with the behind-the-scenes footage we saw last year. Those scenes filmed at the Creel house featuring Holly Wheeler wearing an Alice in Wonderland-style dress. That's one of the mindscapes she'll be pulled into during the season. A fantasy setting meant to trap her inside her own imagination. And then, there's Vecna, appearing in his new version, not the horrifying monster we saw before, but a more manipulative, deceptive version designed to lure kids in not through fear, but through desire. This version of Vecna tempts them by offering what they dream of, promising power, safety, and everything they've ever wanted. It's that twisted false trust that makes him even more dangerous this time. And if you look closely, you'll notice an important detail in Henry's hand, or rather Vecna's hand. There's a clock, once again reinforcing that same symbol that's haunted us since Season 4. But another little detail I want to point out is right next to them, the mailbox. Yeah, there's a brand new mailbox in front of the Creel house this season, and that's not something we've seen before. In the previous seasons, when the Creel house appeared, that mailbox didn't exist, and here's where it gets interesting. There are behind-the-scenes photos showing Holly Wheeler receiving gifts from Henry Creel near that same mailbox, taking things out of it, and interacting with it during filming. So this isn't just a random prop, it's clearly going to play a role in the story. And since it's also included in the LEGO set, that basically confirms it's a key element connecting Henry and Holly's storylines. But then, moving to the side of that display, there's a huge and really exciting reveal. Yeah, you can see them right there, the little couple. I actually found a separate higher quality image where you can clearly identify Max and Lucas. That's right, Max is back, and take a look at her appearance. Her hair's longer and flowing, just like in some of those leaked images we saw earlier this year. This is Max's new look after waking up from the coma. Remember what I said earlier in the video, this LEGO set won't be released until after the final episode airs, after the series officially ends. So this already reflects events after the finale, meaning this design is based on how Max looks at the end of the story. And that means, yep, this announcement just confirmed a major spoiler, Max survives. And she's fine, her eyes aren't white either. Now, sure, that could just be a LEGO design detail, but it strongly suggests that she doesn't come back blind. So yeah, the old theory that Max would return without her vision doesn't hold up anymore. We already discussed that possibility before on the channel, but now we've got official confirmation through this set. Now, looking further up in that same image. I know the resolution isn't perfect, but you can make out who's there. Right above Max and Lucas, we've got Mike and Eleven. Eleven's got that same intense look we've seen across all the promo material. The same outfit, the same determined expression. Next to them, on the right, there's the main group, the ones who'll head into the Upside Down this season. We can see Steve, Robin, who by the way will be spending more time with Murray, but she's still part of this lineup. Then Dustin with his little radio, Nancy and Jonathan. It's basically the core team, the ones we've seen in all the trailers and leaks, the same group that'll be deeply involved in the final battle. And yes, that's the same Nancy we saw earlier in this very video, the one wielding the flamethrower. But then we get to the last two details, and these are the ones that drop another major clue, because once again, we're getting official promotional evidence of something we've already theorized for a long time: Vecna controlling Will. If you look at the Lego image closely, you'll see the little Will figure in the center, and he's the only one with completely white eyes. His face even looks darker, more twisted, almost like he's possessed. He's literally the only familiar character in the whole set designed that way, which basically confirms what we've been saying. Will Byers will be possessed again under Vecna's control. Remember those theories about Will possibly attacking his friends while being controlled by Vecna, completely unable to stop himself? Yeah, this just reinforces that even more. And speaking of Vecna, on the right side of the image, you can spot his Lego figure too. Obviously the details are simplified, but you can clearly see the large hand, the menacing shape, and that familiar terrifying design, all captured in miniature form. Next to him, there are a few more smaller elements, a bike behind the WSQK van and a small red car that's also expected to show up this season. And that's just from this image alone. Once fans actually get their hands on the Lego set, there will be tons of hidden details inside the house, new Easter eggs, new connections, and possibly more spoilers that haven't even been revealed yet. Unless Lego decides to release more official images before January, we'll only find out everything when it finally launches. If you liked this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing.